Now that Bungie has wrapped up the live stream for the April update reveal, we've all seen that it's going to be basically an updated, revamped Prison of Elders with Taken in it, which is pretty damn disappointing in my opinion, and I'm sure many others. I decided to give you guys my thoughts and opinions, some pros, some cons, and some neutral standpoints on new stuff that's being added. So to start us off, let's go with the pros. Now, right off the bat, there's no treasure keys anymore, which is fantastic. That was just a big hindrance. You had to go farm for them. You couldn't always go open the chest, which essentially means you don't even get loot for finishing what you just did, which was awful addition in my opinion. And it's great that they're now finally taking that out of the system. Secondly, they are finally adding checkpoints, which is obviously fantastic as well. It was stupid that there weren't checkpoints in the original Prison of Elders, considering that there are checkpoints in raids. And overall, I think these two changes are very positive towards Prison of Elders, working towards making a good version of this type of PvE in-game activity. Now, time for some neutral standpoints / uncertainties. Firstly, let's talk about the Sigil card. Now, that's a cool addition. For those of you who don't know, it's a card you have to buy similar to a Trials of Osiris card, and you earn points now in the Prison of Elders. And on that card, if you earn, 3,000 points, I think it was, you can go pick up a weapon. And if you complete one Prison of Elders match, you're going to get 3,000 points, and you get an end-game level weapon, which will be 335 light, which is in fact now the cap. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And on top of that, if you get like 9,000 points, you get a piece of armor with 335 light, which is silly, quite frankly, considering that that's, 3 matches? So, if that's the case, and you can run that on 3 different characters, it's not going to take you very long if you just do that activity to hit max light level. And you're obviously not going to be just getting max light level from that activity. You're going to get other 335 gear from other stuff, and that's... I don't know. The reason I'm neutral on this is it seems like a good idea. You get guaranteed rewards, but on top of that, it seems like it's going to shorten the lifespan of this already short activity. Next, we got the max light level 335. Now, the reason I'm neutral on this is, a lot of people are expecting us to get bumped up 100 light level, to that 420 dank, but that does not seem to be the case. Now, it kind of makes sense to me because, the Taken King was like starting over again. You had to grind all the way up to that really high light level, just like you had to when you first started playing Destiny, correct? And then when the Dark Below came out, it bumped you up from max light level 30 to 32. It didn't go, up another 30 light. So this kind of makes sense. But I'm not sure, once again, about how long this is going to last. The longevity seems to be a very, very big issue with this new update. Lastly, for the neutrals, I have Infusion. Now, Infusion is an interesting mechanic. There are a lot of issues and a lot of pros with it. It seems to be, I guess, the best out of the, things Bungie has tried with upgrading old gear and stuff like that. Or, not having just, your Vault of Glass raid set. Or just your Crota's End raid set, But on the other hand, I feel like they should have implemented something a little bit fresh, but I guess if it's broke, don't fix it, Now we got the cons. This is quite a long list, so settle down for the ride. Firstly, let's just get the elephant out of the room. It's Prison of Elders all over again. Why? That DLC was a flop. You should have left it behind. Just like how in Halo Reach, Bungie tried Sprint. Now, what should have happened is 343 should have just dropped the mechanic right then and there. It didn't work with Reach. It was a very unpopular mechanic. And boom, you move on. You have space to grow with that. Just like we have with the Prison of Elders. But now they're bringing it back, and it just doesn't make sense. Next, we got a PlayStation exclusive quest line, which, if there's going to be any exclusives, I'm just going to put it on a con. I hate exclusives. Made a whole video about it. You can go check that out if you want to hear more detail about that. Now, there's only one new strike and one reused strike. It's just a taken Archon Priest strike, which is pathetic. One new strike and one reskin slash reused one? What is that? And on top of that, the strike's about this Malak guy, I think that's how you pronounce it, and he's a major selling point for this DLC. You know, you see him all over, you know, major concept art for this DLC, and it's crazy that they're trying to sell a strike as a major selling point. Imagine if for the Dark Below they tried to sell Omnigul as this big point of the DLC. Why? It doesn't even make sense. Archon Priest is a decent strike, but like, come on. You could only reskin 1, 2, and throw in some more taken. Like, oh, it's sad. It really is. Next, we got the shortened Prison of Elders. See, they ended up shortening it from 5 rounds to 3. And all the old bosses from last year's Prison of Elders are reused ones that are going to be in this next one. And only a few of them are taken. There's only a total of 8 bosses. Now, the taken guy that we've seen, we've only seen 3 bosses, so, you know, this is from what we know. He doesn't even have that much of a fresh mechanic, and he's just reskinned. And, you know, technically it's new, but it's a lame mechanic, to say the least. Next, we got all armor being reused slash reskinned. Like, if you look at the concept art, the Titan armor is reused, the Hunter armor is reused, the Warlock armor is reused, all straight out of Prison Elders. Just like how they did with the Trials of Osiris. They just reskinned the Year 1 armor and put it in Year 2. It's so pathetic. We waited 6 months for this. How can they do that? Following this, there's no mention of new exotics, which I think they're just going to make us infuse everything up again. And, you know, maybe it'll come in the next 2 live streams. I don't know, but, oh, Lord, please help us out with this. Oh, my gosh. Now we have no class balancing, which is just a slap to the face. Really, it is. Considering the fact that in the live stream, they had footage of a guy, one of the people who was playing, was using a Viking funeral self-res Sunsinger build. Oh my god, how can they do that? Like, they're just taunting us. They're not going to fix anything about that. Maybe they'll talk about it in the next live streams, but you'd think they would have mentioned that, considering they're like, oh yeah, look, he's got his Sunsinger, oh ha ha, son bro, and they just move right on. Like, from that impression, it does not seem like you're going to touch that subclass, at least for a long time. Finally, we have no talk about trials. Now, the only reason House of Wolves even lasted as long as it did was because of the Trials of Osiris. And that's another reason why the Taken King has lasted as long as it has. They need to be updating it, you know, adding fresh new loot, not just reskinned armor. You know, more shaders, you know, more cool emblems, more stuff to earn. As little as that is, you know, maybe throw in a new mechanic. You could try map rotation again. I never tried that. I was gone the 1 week that they implemented that into the trials, but I do not believe it went over too well. But it's worth a try again with, you know, the skill-based matchmaking, Year 2 maps, and etc. And this is basically just a Year 2 House of Wolves from what we've been shown, and that is just such a disappointment. On top of that, they anticipate this to somehow last at least 4 months. I'll talk about that later in a video coming very shortly about longevity on this DLC. But yeah, that's going to about wrap up this video. Go ahead and caress that like button a little bit, you know, massage it, make it feel really nice, you know. And if you're just stopping by for the first time, you did in fact enjoy the video, you know, maybe show the sub button the same little bit of love. Just rub it around a little bit, make it feel nice, make you feel nice, do a good deed. Yeah, that's going to wrap up the video for today, guys. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.